Good morning and welcome back to Meja Fitness. I'm very happy that you're here. A little weird today. I am on the phone instead of the camera. We're going to make it through. It's okay. But I did want to talk about how to choose a therapist. And I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet just to make sure that I'm keeping y'all's attention. I don't want to bore y'all. So if there's anything in here that is just tedious, just holler. We can change it, right? This is a flexible place, a flexible channel. So I'm happy that you guys are here with me. So let's talk about therapy. Therapy works, but not every therapist works for everybody. You have to make sure that the therapist that you choose works with you. There are plenty of reasons why you might not click with a therapist. Their personality, their modality, you might just not like them. That's okay. It's okay. It's a guinea pig process, though. It's going to take you a hot minute to find a therapist that you can connect with that's going to help you. So don't be afraid of the process. Don't be afraid of guinea pigging. You have the absolute right to ask for a new therapist if you feel like the one that you are working with right now is not helpful to you. A good therapist should not be threatened by this. They should not have their feelings hurt. They shouldn't take it personal. Y'all hear Deborah? Deborah's telling you therapy works. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on, Mama. Oh my goodness. There she is. There she is, living her best little Deb's life. Say happy Valentine's. Happy Valentine's. Yes. So back to choosing a therapist. We talked about guinea pigging. So, it's a process. Again, it's going to take a hot minute. It took me probably 2 years to find the perfect therapist for me. What you're looking for first and foremost is their education and licensure. Are they credentialed? Do they know what they're talking about? How long have they been in practice? That can be found on the Florida MQA website. It'll tell you if they've had anything, any actions against their license, if they've been sanctioned for anything. And if they have a license, that means that they have the required education. Look, Deborah's front and center. She's ready. They have the required education because you can't have a license if you don't have at least a master's degree. So that's one thing out of the way. All right, we had a little mishap, so we had to do a jump cut. When you have found a credentialed therapist, one that fits your needs, then you need to look at what modality they choose. And there's CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. That is just kind of what it sounds like, how your brain affects your feelings, affects your behaviors, thoughts, feelings, behaviors. There's DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, REBT, rational emotive behavioral therapy. A lot of therapists that I work with are eclectic. They use a mixture of these things. Whatever you do, make sure if someone is putting out there that they're a CBT therapist, that they are certified in CBT. They're not just whistling Dixie. Again, the licensure board is a good place to look. And you can also ask them. Ask to see their credentials. Ask to see, where they took the course and how much experience they have in it. That is your right. It is your right to do that. All right, so we've talked about modalities. Trauma chameleon. Yeah, that was unnecessary. I'm sorry. If you have trauma, make sure 100% that your therapist is trauma certified. Now, there are a lot of well-meaning therapists that can deal with all kinds of issues, but if your therapist is not trauma certified, they can do more harm than good, unintentionally. You have to know how to open and close trauma to keep your patients safe, and that is a very specialized form of therapy. So make sure if you're getting therapy for PTSD, for assault, for violence upon you, anything like that, that they are trauma certified. It's very important. Trust the process. I'm going to say it 100 more times. Trust the process. Therapy is for everybody, but not every therapist is for you. I joke, there's 3 therapists in our office, and one of them is very, very gentle. She's a very nurturing, very mom-like person. And I try to be like her. I do. I try to think, how would she say this? And I try to be gentle, and that's just not me. And that's not for everybody. Not everybody needs their hand held. Some people need a boot in their butt. And that's when they come to me. I'm very direct, very, we're not going to mess around. Like, this is how we're going to do it. Boom. So I'm very direct, where, other therapists are very gentle. And that might not be what you need. And if that's not what you need, I want you to be with who can help you. Right? This is not about me. This is not about my ego. This is not about, how I am as a therapist. I know I'm a good therapist. And I know the therapist that is super gentle is also a good therapist. Right? We just might not click with everybody. It's okay. 100%. It's okay. Stick with it. It's going to work. You're going to find your therapist. You got this. Another note too is with dealing with stuff. How does your therapist deal with stuff? Do they have a therapist? Any good therapist worth their salt has a therapist. We have to have some place to put this. We have to have someone to check on us and make sure that we are keeping our good boundaries, taking care of ourselves, not burning out. So if they tell you, oh no, I don't have a therapist, move on. Move on. Right? They have to have somewhere to put this. Okay? Every good therapist has a therapist. And make sure, ask them what they do for self-care. Deborah just almost fell off my lap. Ask them what they do for self-care. Right? Make sure that they're taking care of themselves. If they don't come up with a ready answer, then they probably don't. And they're going to burn out pretty quick. And again, that's not somebody you might want to go with. And asking what they do for self-care is not a boundary violation. It's not inappropriate. It's a perfectly valid question that you should be able to ask your therapist. So that's all I have for today on how to choose a therapist. Good luck. Y'all have got this. Happy Valentine's Day. Remember, tomorrow is half price candy day, so avoid the candy aisle at all cost. And we'll actually talk about how to plan for candy-based holidays. That's probably going to be in a couple of weeks, but we got this. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.